over the weekend, as I said earlier, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott endorsed Donald Trump. Oh my God, let's just say it was interesting. One of the things that he did was he invoked the phrase that we often associate with Fan Lou Hamer, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Some people ripped him for trying to sound like a Baptist preacher in endorsing Trump. I've never seen, let's be clear. My goodness, Tim Scott is doing his best to try to be a VP. What do you make of how he has comported himself since dropping the race?
That's exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to be vice president, and it couldn't be clearer. The stuff coming out of his mouth is unbelievable. He's just really been a true disappointment over the years, if I'm being honest. And the way that he, I worked in the Senate, and the way it started working with him, and the things that he wanted to work with on civil rights and helping Black people, to the way he is now talking about Trump and talking about the country not being racist and quoting the quotes that he uses. It's just, when you watch someone just completely change because they want leadership and power, it's disheartening and frustrating, and it's sad to see. And so hearing that and watching it, I couldn't stomach it anymore. And you're exactly right. He wants to be vice president. And please, I'm begging people, please vote for Biden and Harris. I really don't want to see it next year. I really don't. I can't say it any other way than that, to be honest.
Renita, what did you make of the speed of Senator Tim Scott?
Tim Scott is one of these people who also said that the country is not racist. He said that along with Nikki Haley. And the only thing I want to say is I see that the party of majority white people did not vote for you. So, at the end of the day, Tim Scott is somebody who I think should have been a really good test as to whether or not black folks can find something for themselves in the Republican Party, because he's already a U.S. senator. And so unlike the other people who previously ran for president on the Republican side, they had never been elected to anything, which does make things harder a lot of times. Not that it's impossible. Obviously, we saw that Trump got elected, but I'm speaking about the Herman Cains of the world and other people who did not have infrastructure on their side as far as like political infrastructure. They didn't have a record that they could run on. They really had nothing except asking voters just to trust them. Tim Scott has, all the things that I just mentioned, and he still was not able to do well in the primary. So I just think it's very interesting.
Lord, if y'all want to hear somebody sell their soul, watch this.
We need a president who will close our southern border today. We need Donald Trump. We need a president. We need a president who will unite our country. We need Donald Trump. We need a president who will protect your Social Security and my mama's Social Security. We need Donald Trump. We need a president today who will stop the crime and recklessness in the streets. We need a president who will restore law and order. We need Donald Trump. Oh, we need a president who will lower our taxes and not raise our taxes. We need a president like Donald Trump. We need a president who understands the American people are sick and tired.
Oh my goodness.
Sick and tired of being. Go ahead and play. Hold up. Go ahead and play, because I got tired of hearing it. I didn't want to cut it off, but go ahead and play that last part right there again. Because if y'all sound, what you trying to do? Tim, really, what you trying to do?
We need a president who will lower our taxes and not raise our taxes. We need a president like Donald Trump. We need a president who understands the American people are sick and tired of being sick and tired. We need a president our foreign adversaries are afraid of.
Oh, please.
We sick and tired of being sick and tired. Julian, go ahead.
Roland, I mean, that's Mr. Bojangles there. Dancing and shucking and jiving with his eyes getting big. It's a minstrel show. But, you know, he wants to be vice president so bad he got engaged. He got to be almost 60 years old and couldn't get engaged. But now that he's trying to be regular, he went and got himself engaged. This man is disgusting. And to use Rosa Parks' words is beyond disgusting. But, you know, we know he may have done some things in the Senate, but he's forfeited all that with this clownish, buffoonish behavior and his blind fealty to a very flawed man who he just months ago was trying to replace. Now he sees a lane to become vice president, but who would I would love for him to be the vice president nominee so that Kamala Harris could take him and just wipe the floor with him. And when she got finished wiping the floor, she could clean the windows with him because he just is. This is just an absurdity. But you know what? He has figured out how to. Well, first of all, when he announced that he was running for president, I told someone, I said, if I had $1 for every time he said God, I would have myself a nice meal at the Four Seasons somewhere. Because he acted like God was about to be his running mate. So at least this mess, he didn't invoke so much God, but he invoked a lot of nonsense. And we know this is how we know Tim Scott. We know that he's blindly ambitious. We know that he has Republican fealty. And we know that he clearly does not have good sense. And he shows us that every time he opens his mouth. That was disgusting.
I had to just sit here and laugh on McCongo watching that. First of all, trying to sit here and talk. Anybody on McCongo who gives a speech and says Donald Trump is going to unite the country, they got to be high.
They got to be high. They got to be delusional. They got to be on something. I mean, I've never seen a more opportunistic politician with no chance of rising anywhere beyond being a senator. I mean, it was embarrassing, but I mean, not really. I guess embarrassing can't be the word because this is just who he is. I mean, he's always been somebody who's been conniving and will kiss the butt of whoever he needs to try to get to the next level. I do believe, however, that because of how powerful the issues of, and I don't know if this Booker disagrees, but because of how powerful the issues of abortion are and what's going on relating to that, I think that Donald Trump is going to pick a female as his vice presidential candidate because I think that having two men out there who are speaking against women's rights are going to hurt the party even more. And so I think he's going to have a woman who's going to get up there and talk about being, quote unquote, pro-life and all of this other type of stuff to try to minimize some of the things that Vice President Harris is saying, or at least have two women go at it. And so I think, Tim Scott's time is truly past. And I don't believe that the Republican Party is ever going to embrace him or Ramaswamy or any of these guys in any way, shape, or form. This MAGA crowd, they have decided that they want it to be white and male at the top and as well as in the VP race. And so this is not... I don't know, Tim Scott just looks so out of place, man. He sounds out of place. He looks out of place. And they just look at him as a joke. And so now that, Donald Trump could basically say, I got my other African-American right now. Where's my African-American like he did before? It's right here with Tim Scott. And Tim Scott is just disgraceful. And to disrespect the legacy of Fannie Lou Hamer like that, no respect, no love, but we didn't have any for you anyway.
And of course, getting engaged over the weekend. Too late, bro. Too late. They already were questioning whether you were gay during the primary, and he had to actually come and roll his girlfriend out. So, yeah, that's a little too late. Tamia, we appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for having me. Always a pleasure.